Today I am sharing some quick fall hacks using items you can get out at Dollar Tree right now. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button and let's get on into it. Whenever Dollar Tree put out these circular wooden bead wreaths, I definitely grabbed several of them, and this has been just a couple of months back, but I didn't know what to do with so many of them. So yes, I made a normal wreath and hung some ribbon from it, but I had a really fun idea to actually make this in the shape of a pumpkin, just by kind of putting them inside of each other and zip tying them together. To get this circular shape, I did press it down to give it more of like the oblong pumpkin space, and then the more I played with it, I feel like it needed another one, so I do end up using 4 for one pumpkin. I did zip tie these together. Even if they fold together, it's okay to go ahead and zip tie them at the bottom and the top, and then go ahead and shape them in place. You can add as many or as few as you want to, just depending on how full you want this pumpkin to look. I thought it would be really fun to spray paint this. I go ahead and leave it neutral for this video because I loved it so much, but I do feel like it would be really fun to paint these orange, and they even are putting out like wooden bead, like circle wreaths like this in different sizes. So check that out because you could even make some mini little pumpkins. And then I stacked up a couple of these thicker wooden slices to make it look like it had a stem. I do wish I would have glued a leaf or something up there at the top, so definitely keep that in mind if you do make this. And I thought it would be really cool, since this is big and open, to put a candle inside. Obviously nothing that you're going to burn for safety reasons, but I do go ahead and just glue a little wooden slice in there to be like a platform or candle holder, so then I could stick in like a LED light. I just stuck in like a little pumpkin candle that I'm not going to light up. Definitely recommend using something LED, but I felt like this was a cool way to house like a pumpkin and get it to look like this fun like 3D candle holder. I just used a couple of loose wooden beads to stabilize the wood slice at the bottom and to get it as level as possible. I just stuck a little canister in there that was like Dollar Tree spackling. I set it in there to make sure it was straight. And then I'm going to dry brush over the top of this with some sandstone paint, just lightly going over it to give it a little bit of color, letting this dry and popping that candle inside. I loved whenever I saw these mini little wooden beads. This is what I was talking about. You could play around with this to make some little pumpkins, but I grabbed these just to put them on jars. So this takes literally 30 seconds. You just cut off the little hanger and the tag, set it on top of a jar, and it looks like you took the time to actually bead a fun little ring to go on top of this. They sell these out at craft shows, like a jar ring for like $6 to $10, and these are $1.25. So pop those on a couple of jars, put in a little candle, and make your own little DIY lantern in like 5 seconds. Okay, so we all know that whenever Dollar Tree puts out pumpkins, they are putting out every color and pattern and fabric that you can even imagine. So these are just for fun. No, you don't have to DIY color your own pumpkins, but I thought it would be a really fun idea that I had to test out. So I found these solid white wool pumpkins at the Dollar Tree. These were in the $1.25 section, and I wanted to mix them with some of the Dollar Tree tie-dye. So I've never gotten to use any of the Dollar Tree tie-dye before. I can't remember using any, and I couldn't find orange. So I knew I could mix red and yellow, but I didn't want it to be like a dark orange to where it almost looks red, like a red pumpkin. So I am going ahead and mixing up the yellow color first, and then just going to take my time and slightly add the red just a little bit at a time until I get the color I like. All I have to do is insert that little skewer sticks to mix it up, and whenever I pull it out, it was still yellow, so I could definitely see when it started to turn orange. I would just place a dot or two on these paper towels that I laid down, and I kind of stopped whenever it was like a little bit lighter than I thought, because I knew this probably would dry darker. So I go ahead and get it the orange that I like. It already looks fall orange. It's the perfect color. I mix this really well and then just start playing around with it. So I didn't know I was going to do it first. I kind of followed the little seams on the pumpkin, and I didn't love that. So I thought I would do one like more solid than not, and then just play around with polka dots on the other two. This is a DIY that you could involve the whole family, get your kids involved. My girls would absolutely love to play around with all of the colors. They would love to make like pink pumpkins for their room, so keep this in mind whenever you're making these. But I did think it was a really fun thing to try out and test, and it seemed to dry really well, and these turned out way better than I even imagined. Okay, so I've been sharing this for the past couple of years to always be sure if you have extra candles on hand that you just want to keep using throughout the year but make them look cute, or you find clearance candles, or if you just want to pick up an inexpensive Walmart candle because they're a lot better quality than Dollar Tree, you can put some cuter stickers on there and rub-on transfers to make them cute and cozy for fall and bring in all of the colors. But I just found these window clings at Dollar Tree, and they have these adorable little rainbows that say like cozy time, and I just absolutely love this. So I go ahead and just flip these candles around. I didn't even take the labels off in case I want to use them like that later on this year, and just peel off the window clings. I added on some spray glue so these wouldn't continue to fall off if my kids touched them. I'm not going to burn these long term just for this video and then set them around as cute decor. That's why I tied on the little ribbon so you can pass that up. These are soy candles, and I found them in the Dollar Tree Plus section, and they are a lot nicer than if you just pick up the $1.25 ones. But these are super cute. I love the pop of color, and I just felt like the rainbows were done so adorable and had to test these out. I think it's incredible that Dollar Tree was putting like a 2-pack in the window clings this year for the $1.25. I have to share with you all one of my all-time favorite DIYs, and that is to make a DIY lantern. I just took one of the larger hurricane candle holders from Dollar Tree, and I put a window cling, one of the longer rectangular ones, at the bottom, but I knew I wanted this to be a little bit more solid, so put painter's tape. So I kind of used the window cling as a measurement, and then painted the bottom with some paint, and then I'm going to glue the window cling back on. So it has this really cute fun fall colors and quote on the bottom, and then I'm adding a leather handle by cutting it off of one of the Dollar Tree juncture purses, adding in a couple of little thumbtacks to the top that I cut the backs off of, and this just made like the cutest, most inexpensive little DIY lantern. Perfect for fall. You could bring in any of the colors that you want, and of course this hot glue on the glass isn't going to last forever, but will definitely get me through the fall season, and then I can repurpose this glass. Don't wait too long to check out the Dollar Tree fabric. They have lots of options out right now. I want to share with you all one of my favorite hacks to use fabric from the Dollar Tree in the fall or winter season. So I love to pick up these clear plates. We see these clear plates out all the time, and then you pick out any pattern that you like of fabric, put a big generous amount of Mod Podge down on the plate, put the fabric on top, and then just use the remainder that's left over on your brush to really push the fabric down to the plate. I let this completely dry, cut away the excess, and then flip them back over and give them another layer. You definitely want to do this in layers, because if you get too thick of Mod Podge, it doesn't want to dry clear, and some of the wet glue gets trapped underneath the dry glue, and it just never dries right. So make sure that you do take the time to do this in a couple of layers. But after you fix up these glass plates, there are so many uses for them. You can use them for tiered trays or little platforms, little candle holders, and I feel like they bring in a ton of color without having to spend a lot of money on risers for every occasion. Also, remember, you can cut this fabric up in little strips like this and then tie it onto a longer rope, and this makes the perfect garland to set around on entryway tables or shelves, or from your fireplace, like on the top of your fireplace. I love doing this because it's super fun and crafty. It doesn't take any brain power just to tie this on. My daughters actually can just come in the craft room and help me do this, and then you can cut it down to any size, just kind of making sure you're rotating through the colors, and it just looks like a scrappy fun piece. So always enjoy doing these for each season. Also, if I'm not able to find the fabric that I'm looking for at Dollar Tree, I definitely love going in Walmart. They have little fat quarters cut down to the perfect size for under $1, so even more inexpensive. And then a lot of the times, if you kind of keep an eye out, they put out end caps with like a fall or Halloween like theme fabric little designs, and they are absolutely my favorite. I'm always grabbing a ton whenever they put those out. Okay, so I am seeing concrete decor pieces everywhere, so I thought it would be fun to make some out of Dollar Tree's pumpkins. These kind of look bland to me, so it doesn't hurt my feelings to go ahead and cover them over. I just picked up a couple of cream colored pumpkins, and I went ahead and painted these white because I'm going to be adding some spackle. And if you put spackle on a glazed pumpkin that's super shiny, it's just going to slide right off. So I love to go ahead and give these a coat of chalk paint. It's really chalky and matte finished, so it's going to adhere a lot better to it. You can mix a little bit of water if you want a smoother finish. I wanted these to be as like gritty and concrete, like rough looking as I could. So I just go ahead and just cake that on there really thick, kind of keeping the pumpkin shape but not really worrying about perfection here, letting that completely dry, and then I paint it with some steel colored chalk paint. You do just kind of have to get in there and get your hands dirty. If you want to, you can wear some gloves, but I feel like you have more control just using your hands rather than trying to use like a sponge brush or anything to apply the spackle on there. You do want this to completely dry and then paint the pumpkin. This does like really absorb the paint, so I'm just really piling it on there and then letting this dry also. You can choose just to dry brush over it with a little bit of a darker gray color to give it more of a concrete look. I have this stone spray paint on hand, so that's what I wanted to use to get more of a stone look, but I think these are really cute, and I kind of do like the break of concrete in between like all of the orange color.